Shall we? Oh.
Okay, Lila, we're ready.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachi HaSharet, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem Shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyon, Bimelech, Malachi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruchuni Shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyon, Bimelech, Malachi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Tzedchem Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Bimelech, Malachi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
That song just brought my shoulders way down. It made me feel so comfortable. Shabbat Shalom, everybody, and welcome to TBT. Whether you are here in our sanctuary or joining us as part of our virtual congregation on Zoom, we call that our Zoom-gregation, or on Facebook or YouTube, we are so glad you're here tonight to celebrate Shabbat with us. We hope you will join in the words, and if you don't know the words, God understands la 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 as well. We begin our Shabbat by acknowledging the light within us and the light that our worship brings to us. And so we begin with the candle blessing on page 120, and we will ask Lila, would you like to light the candles for us tonight?
That candle's burning at seemingly both ends. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Oh, I can get that. Don't. Okay. Thank you.
It's okay. Come, let us sing joyously to Adonai. Raise a shout for our rock and deliverer. Lechu Neranena, page 130.
Lechu Neranena, l'Adonai, nariya letzur yishenu, nekatma
continue on page 134, Zamru Ladonai.
Zamru l'Adonai bechinor v'kol zimra b'chatzot zrot v'kol shofar hariyu lifnei hamelech Adonai yiram hayam omlo tevel veyoshveva hayra einei harot imcha uchav hav yachad harim yeraneinu nifnei Adonai kiva lishpot haaretz yishpot tevel betzedek ve'amim ve'meisharim yiram hayam omlo tevel ve'yoshvei hayra einei harot imcha uchav hav yachad harim yeraneinu hav yachad harim yeraneinu.
Psalm 29 on page 136, a Psalm of David.
Mizmor leDavid, havu l'Adonai b'nei Elim, havu l'Adonai kavod va'oz, havu l'Adonai kevod shemo hishtachavu l'Adonai behadarat kodesh, kol Adonai hamayim el hakavod irim Adonai Adonai hamayim rabim kol Adonai b'koach kol Adonai behadar kol Adonai shover arazim vayeshaber Adonai et arzei albanon vayarkidem kemo egel Lebanon v'Zion kemo v'ne'emim kol Adonai chotzeb lavodesh kol Adonai yachil midbar yachil Adonai midbar kadesh kol Adonai yecholel ayanot vayechesov ye'arot uveichalo kulo omer kavod omer kavod omer kavod kulo omer kavod Adonai lamabul yashav vayeshav Adonai melech le'olam Adonai hos le'amo yitein Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom et amo et amo et amo v'shalom.
Those last two lines find their way into several of our prayers. May God grant strength to God's people. May Adonai bestow on God's people well-being. Shalom. We continue with Lecha Dodi, a song that was composed by Shlomo Halevi Alkabetz in the 16th century in the city of Tzfat in Israel. It actually has his name inscribed at the beginning of each of the verses, and we will sing several of those verses, numbers 1, 2, 5, 6, and 9. When we get to the 9th verse, we will rise wherever we happen to be and face the door as if to welcome the Sabbath bride. Lecha Dodi, page 138.
Lecha Dodi likrat kahala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kahala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad ishmi'anu el ha'meyuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad Hashem letiferet v'nitila. Lecha Dodi likrat kahala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kahala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha ki hi mekor haberacha. Merosh mikedem nesucha sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila. Lecha Dodi likrat kahala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kahala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hitareri, hitareri, ki va'orech kumi ori. Uri, uri, shedaberi, kevod Adonai aleich nigla. Lecha Dodi likrat kahala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kahala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lo tevashi ve'lo tikalmi, ma tishtochachi u'ma tehemi. Bach yechesu עניי עמי ונבנתה עירת הילה. lecha Dodi לקראת קהלה בני שבת נקבלה. lecha Dodi לקראת קהלה בני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה. תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. lecha Dodi לקראת קהלה בני שבת נקבלה. lecha Dodi לקראת קהלה בני שבת נקבלה.
You may be seated. We add one more psalm to our Shabbat, Kabbalat Shabbat, which is Psalm 92. on page 140, Mizmor Shir Le'Yom HaShabbat.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בחינות. צדיק כתמר יפרח, כארז בלבנון יזכה, שתולים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו, עוד ינובון בשיבה, דשנים ורעננים יהיו, להגיד כי ישר אדוני, צורי ולא עוולת בו.
Let's read at the bottom of page 140 in the English, the translation to the portion that we just sang, Tzadik Katamar. It's the indented part. The righteous bloom like a date palm. They thrive like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they flourish in the courts of our God. In old age they still produce fruit. They are full of sap and freshness, attesting that Adonai is upright, my rock, in whom there is no wrong. We divide our Kabbalat Shabbat, the receiving of Shabbat, with our Arvit LeShabbat, with the Chatzi Kaddish, page 144.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברך יראה וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון ובימיכון ובחייך בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי תקדשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירן בעלמא, ואמרו אמן.
We rise for the Baruch Hu on page 146.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
You may be seated. We read together at the bottom or in the middle of page 149 in the English. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim.
Amen.
And as we begin the book of Exodus this Shabbat, this is the hour of change, where we decided whether we were going to hold back or cross over. And we will read about that in the weeks to come. We turn to page 150, and once we have talked about that physical structure of God and all that brings light and life into the universe, we turn to the love that cannot always be seen, and yet we know that love surrounds us, either by our fellow human beings and by extension also by God. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael.
Amen.
I invite you to close your eyes and breathe in that love that you feel, maybe envisioning someone in your life that loves you and you love. Imagine the holy in them and the godly in ourselves that connects us to them as we together sing the Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
We continue with the Ve'ahavta, talking about how we in turn love God on page 154.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת. אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת.
Emet means truth. And so we read together in the English on page 156. All this we hold to be true and trustworthy for us. You alone are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You are our sovereign and Savior, who delivers us from oppressors' hands and saves us from tyrants' fists. You work wonders without number, marvels beyond count. You give us life and steady our footsteps. You performed miracles for us before Pharaoh, signs and wonders in the land of the Egyptians. You led your people Israel out from their midst to freedom for all time.
When your children witnessed your dominance, they praised your name in gratitude, and they accepted your sovereignty. Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices
joyously. Mi Chamocha, our song for freedom, on page 158.
Mi Chamocha, Ba'elim Adonai. Oh, mi Chamocha, Nedar B'Kodesh. Oh, Nora Tehilot, Asef Eleh. Nora Tehilot, Asef Eleh. Won't you help me sing this song of freedom? It's all I ever had. Redemption song, redemption song. Malechutecha, ra'u banecha, bokeh ayam livnei Moshe u'Miriam. Ozeli, anu ve'ameru, Ozeli, anu ve'ameru. Won't you help me sing this song of freedom? It's all I ever had. Redemption song, redemption song. Adonai will reign forever and ever. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
We continue with Hashkivenu, a prayer asking us that we lie down in peace, that we are protected through the night, and for always. Page 160.
Sometimes I lay under the moon and thank God I'm breathing. And then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more war, and our children will play one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Ufros aleinu Sukkot shlomecha, v'tachneinu be'eza tova milefanecha. All my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play one day, one day, one day. God, watch over us and deliver us, for you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming, to life and to peace evermore. Baruch atah Adonai, haborei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day God ceased from work and was refreshed. We rise now for the Amidah, starting on page 164.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise.
Oseh shalom b'mermav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru amen.
Amen.
May the one who makes peace in the high heavens make peace for us, for all Israel, and all who inhabit the earth. And we say, Amen.
Amen.
We conclude our Amidah with words of Mishaberach, a prayer asking for a return to wholeness, those in need of physical, emotional, spiritual healing, those suffering from addictions, those in a period of mourning the loss of a loved one. If there is somebody whose name you would like to bring into our midst, I invite you to do so as we go around the room. And if you are part of our virtual congregation, You may write their names into the chat box and they will be shared with us here in the sanctuary. Anyone? Elaine Asa. Zach Pesner. David Trackman. Is there anybody? Aiden?
Jared Sumprano, Gary Gruber, Anita Muchenkoff, Jeff Bonham, and Sam Paz.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What happened to my, oh, there it is. In addition to those mentioned, we also add the names of Alan Boyarsky, Andrea Goldberg, Anita Muchnikoff, Barbara Rothbart, Barbara Bevins, Dale Scully, Edward Schechter, Elaine Solomon, Florence Nagler, Jerry Feldman, Karen Guth, Jerry Harmon, Marilyn Gwazdoff, Marlene Pfaff, Michael Hennig, Mike Kokos, Mindy Gladstein, Peter Gwazdoff, Harav Emmanuel Ben David, Shirley Hoffman, Shirley Zeidman, Evelyn Ma, and Henry Cohen. For those mentioned and those we hold in our hearts, the Misha Berach can be found on page 371.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha La'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We wish all of them a refuah shlema, a speedy and complete recovery. Amen. So, Shabbat Shalom again. As we all know, today is Friday, right? All day. And it's the 13th. Oh no. Will planes fall out of the sky? Will elevators crash to the ground and relationships fall apart? Some people are so spooked by the number 13 that there are actually builders who try to put our minds at ease by skipping the 13th floor when constructing an edifice that exceeds 13 floors. Where does this belief in bad luck related to the number 13 come from? Well, it might have to do with the fact that Judas Iscariot was one of the 13 people at Jesus' Last Supper, and we know what happened to him. Or maybe because the end of the Mayan calendar's 13 Baktun calendar cycle was supposed to herald an apocalypse. But for Jews, it's not like that. If we lived in Israel today, we might be expecting only good things. And that's because in Israel, and in Judaism in general, 13 is considered a lucky number. As blogger Joshua Hammerman points out, what is the age of a bar mitzvah? 13. How many months are there in a leap year in the Hebrew lunar calendar? 13. And don't forget the 13 attributes of God laid out in Exodus, which we begin this Shabbat, that Gabriel chants for us at times during the year, to explain why God forgave us for that whole golden calf episode. Still unconvinced? Well, consider that Maimonides or Rambam formulated 13 principles of faith. And my first grandchild was born on the 13th of June. There it goes. And there's this clincher. Let's see if you knew this. In Israel, when Israel was established in 1948, the first provisional government had 13 members. Why? Of course, for good luck. In numerology, the number 13 is associated with the divine and is said to bring good luck and prosperity to those who embrace it. In fact, many people believe that the number 13 brings about change, which can often lead to a positive outlook. The book of Exodus, which we begin reading this Shabbat, brings about probably the most profound change in the children of Israel, transforming us from slaves to free people. So intense is this change that we remind ourselves of the Exodus each Shabbat, along with the creation of the world, as we bless the fruit of the vine. Truly, having crossed from Egypt into the desert is as if we had been recreated, a process that changed the trajectory of history forever and which reflects our evolution as a peoplehood even today. What part did we have in bringing about that freedom from the Egyptian taskmasters? Did we actively work for freedom, or was it pure luck? Being in the right place at the right time? As we will see in the weeks ahead as we make our way through the coming chapters of the Torah, we weren't always an obedient people. We kvetched. We doubted Moses. We quarreled with one another. We experienced wonders and miracles in an environment that lacked the warmth of home. But Moses, though doubting his own leadership abilities, proved to be a leader unlike any other, as it is written at the very end of the Torah in Deuteronomy. And there has not arisen since in Israel a prophet like Moses, whom the Lord knew face to face. In all the signs and the wonders which the Lord sent him to do in the land of Egypt to Pharaoh, and to all his servants, and to all his land, and in all that mighty land, and in all the great and awesome deeds which Moses performed in the sight of all Israel. Moses was a leader because he knew God. He argued, he doubted, but he had a relationship with holiness. Do we go through life relying on luck to show us the way? Or do we face life knowing that there is, in fact, a 13th floor, even if it isn't labeled? Acknowledging holiness means opening our eyes to that which we think we know and then look deeper. What color is a red rose? Is it really just one color? Or are there shades of red that blend together to create a masterpiece of the divine? What color is my skin? Is it really white? Or is it a shade different from all the rest of us sitting in this room tonight? I was talking to my granddaughter yesterday about this, and she pulled out a box of skin tone crayons that have, I think, 24 crayons in them, no two the same color, but all of them ranging in various tones of brown to beige to white. This is not by any means an exhaustive sample of our various shades of skin, but it demonstrates that no two humans are the same on the outside. This Monday, we will honor a world leader who stood alongside with Moses, one of the giants of American history, who started a revolution of equality that we still struggle with to this day. To Martin Luther King Jr., freedom was not a matter of luck. It was a right to be fought for, to be won, and to be held high as a pillar of human value. Each of us has the potential to be God's partner, as Moses or Martin Luther King was. Each of us can transform the mundane into the holy, if only we open our eyes and turn our prayers into action. May we emulate the efforts of history's great leaders as we strive to reach our own promised lands. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will. Gabrielle. No? Is there a song that you could add to this Dvar Torah to put a cherry on the cake?
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday.
Thank you. And now we turn to page 588 and rise for Hashivotah. For you spread out the heavens and established the earth. Your majestic abode is in the heavens above, and your mighty presence is in the loftiest heights. You are our God, and there is none else. In truth, you are our sovereign without compare, as is written in your Torah. Know then this day, and take it to heart, that Adonai is surely God in heavens above and on the earth below. There is none else.
V'hashevota,
V'hashevota,
el levavecha,
el levavecha,
ki Adonai,
ki Adonai,
hu ha-Elohim,
hu Elohim,
v'hashevota,
V'hashevota,
el levavecha,
el levavecha,
ki Adonai,
ki Adonai,
hu ha-Elohim,
hu Elohim,
ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. Sorry. We now
Generally, after the Devar Torah, we do a Leinu.
It's okay. We turn our thoughts to those whose time on earth has ended those in recent days and those in past years. If you are in the Shiva period, the first 7 days of mourning, I invite you to rise and share your loved one's name with us. We think of Sarah DeLand, whose father, Robert Messi, was laid to rest yesterday. We also call to mind a dear friend of our congregation, Sandy Fine, who passed away this week and was also laid to rest yesterday. Is there somebody in the first 30 days of mourning you would like to remember? In the first year of mourning?
Jonathan Kazin.
And if you are observing a yort site this week, I invite you to rise, share your loved one's name. Are there names from our virtual congregation?
First year of mourning for Jonathan Kazin, Randy Sostock, and Joan Friedman, and a yard site for Andy Simbrano, Edward Rossman, Esther Rossman.
Thank you. For those mentioned and those we hold in our hearts, if it is your custom to rise for the Kaddish, I invite you to do so and join us on page 598.
Yid
Gadal v'yid kadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon, u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shemei rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudesha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who sends peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved among us. And we say, Amen.
Amen.
You may be seated. Before we do Kiddush,
Which we're gonna.
we will,
I swear.
but I have a few announcements. I decided that there are so many things happening in our beloved congregation that it was time to start writing them down. That way we don't forget anything, especially tomorrow. Tomorrow, our event of the year. Wow. Tomorrow night is our big fundraiser of the year, Casino Royale. And this is our major fundraiser, so we hope you will sponsor the event if you can't make it.
Please make it, though.
But come, because we start at 6 o'clock with, well, the bar opens first. And then dinner is served at 6, a wonderful Mediterranean meal. And it's not raining in here, as it will be outside. So come and join us. And then starting at 7, we have, oh no, wait a minute, at 6:30, Gabrielle's going to be singing during dinner. She is our floor show.
It is a little show. 6:30.
6:30, Gabrielle's singing. 7 o'clock, the games start. If you're not here in person tonight, what you don't see is these massive tables behind us that have all of the silent auction baskets. There are 50 items to bid on.
And I saw Ray-Bans. I would love them.
I saw a beautiful Seder plate. Caught my eye.
Lots of great
Beautiful,
things.
beautiful
Oh my
things.
goodness.
Yes, lots to choose from. So we hope you will join us. Fun starts at 6 o'clock, and reservations are requested, but obviously the office is closed, so you can put in the chat box talk to me after services. I'll help you get involved. Next Friday, we have family services with dinner at 5:15, followed by services at 6. And then next Saturday, we have our Scholar in Residence program, our Shabbat Scholar program. Rabbi Deborah Prince, who wrote a book called Jews on the Chocolate Trail, The History of Jews and Chocolate. So
My favorite kind of history.
It's, yes, edible history. After services, after our Shabbat morning service, we will have a wonderful Italian lunch, followed by a gourmet chocolate buffet. And Rabbi Prince will be talking about Jews and chocolate. Going at the same time as that, there is a program for our children, pizza lunch, followed by Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and decorating a chocolate cookie and drinking cocoa. So kids will be running circles around us while we are in here. Our adult choir, called Tikvah, is back in action after a long hiatus. They haven't sung since, they sang at High Holidays, right? So we haven't seen them much since then, but they are back in action, rehearsing twice a month, and they will also be singing next Saturday, I believe. Yes?
I believe so.
Yes. And so if you are a lover of music and can sit for a 2-hour rehearsal twice a month, join us. It's all for you. And see Rabbi Tilchin, see me, see Evan, see Gabrielle. We'll get you started. We are starting a Torah chanting class this Tuesday, no, the 24th.
Yes.
Yes? What's that all about?
Well, we want to inspire a new love for Torah chanting in our community and beyond. Anybody who wants to learn more about how to chant from the Torah. They want to brush up on their skills, or if they want to learn for the first time, it's open to everyone, and it's going to be really wonderful. Honestly, Torah cantillation has been my favorite course in cantorial school so far. So
Sounds like fun. So that's starting on the 24th. Hilltop Players, which is our youth theatrical group, is rehearsing beautifully for their first performance, which will be at the end of February. And that program actually received a grant, which I got an email about today, to help underwrite that program. We are one of, I believe, 10 organizations in Orange County to receive a grant for tween and teen programming.
what's the name of the show that?
Let's see.
Imagine. We didn't rehearse that.
But in order to support the program, we need a little extra financial help. So if you'd like to be a sponsor of this program, we know that children who stay active and engaged have a better outcome at the end. So this is a way for them to stay connected. And there is a raffle for $860 plus Disney enjoyment. And the tickets are $10 a piece, cash. So if you would like to participate in that raffle, please see Melissa Goldman, or any of us. We can help you with that. And last but not least, we are bringing back the scroll. It's supposed to be mailed in the next week or so. We're very excited. We are working at increasing communication, and the scroll, which has been our monthly newsletter since 1964, it took a little bit of a break. It's coming back. It's going to be published quarterly, and so your first issue of the new and revised scroll will be arriving in your homes in the next week or so. For our virtual congregants, we are so glad you're here, and if you would like to support the efforts of providing a virtual congregation, we invite you to do so, as we invite all of our members and friends to support those efforts so that we can continue to live stream, to Zoom, to extend to all corners of the world. It's really our pleasure to do so. And now, let's do some Kiddush, as I spoke about earlier. If it's your tradition to rise for Kiddush, you may do so.
ויערב ויבוקר יום השישי, ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויכל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה, ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו, ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת לחיים.
Thank you.
Ooh-wee.
And our closing song tonight will be Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim le'olam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim le'olam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim le'olam. Tasim le'olam. Tasim le'olam.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. Please come tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock services. We'll do it in the social hall.
Say hi to people. Oh, there we go. Shabbat Shalom.